My name's Peter Heath. I'm an architect and a town planner. I work for Atkins and I specialise in the design of the public realm. That's spaces between buildings. So security is something that I've had to consider throughout my career, and obviously in more recent times in more detail. I've contributed to a lot of guidance on this subject. Security in the public realm has been a problem and an issue that designers had to consider throughout history. In particular nowadays, we have to think in terms of the potential of terrorist bombs as well as social unrest and arising matters. And the threat is much greater to public life and public space and buildings in urban areas. And it now seems that we have to consider introducing physical measures to stop the potential of large vehicles being exploded very close to vulnerable sites and vulnerable buildings. And with specific guidance and specific new products, it's possible to do a balancing act to get the very best out of the problem and make it an opportunity. I think it's very much like the challenge that we've had to face in the past as designers. We've got long lists of things that need to be checked. Each problem is going to be site-specific, and therefore tailored solutions are very important, ones which achieve a proper balance between every citizen's desire to see an open, democratic and free society and the places reflected like that, and no real changes to our way of life. And this is a challenge which I think designers can take up and understand, given the right tools and the right information. In terms of innovation, we see all kinds of existing aspects of street furniture and major companies like Marshalls in particular looking again at what they do put out for people in terms of design on the street. And whether it's a bench or a bus shelter or a lamp column or a tree, a mature tree, or the landscape design, all of these components can be evaluated in terms of how the streetscape works, both from an attractive point of view and a functional point of view, but also as a secure barrier. There are plenty of good products and design responses. We see lots of different types of poles and signs and regulations, as well as the very important things like litter bins and waste recycling. All these, if they can be strengthened, if they can be reconsidered and evaluated, can really help form a palette of approaches which can be used in different ways and combinations in different locations to achieve the aim of stopping the worst case of a vehicle driving into a place which is crowded or a building that is vulnerable. In terms of the way we go from here, we have to work across the board and a wide range of professionals. I know that we must work with the public sector and the public highway authorities, planners, politicians, specialists from all types of different profession, in partnership to get the very best scenarios and best solutions for this very complex problem. What I do know is that there's now good guidance available, and these are examples of draft documentation from the Home Office and others. The professional institutes are now available to give the sort of information that can get everybody up to speed on the basic principles and the constraints and opportunities. And it's important that we now, with the products and the expertise, can start looking at making sure that the public realm is still a democratic, permeable and attractive place, even with the security that we know we have to build in to make it also a safe place.